All right, hello everyone, and welcome. Today we have such a magical story for you. It's all about a very special little boy who was keeping a very big secret. You want to find out what it is? Let's go.
Okay, so think about it. Imagine a tiny little baby, a toddler. What's the biggest, most amazing secret you think they could possibly keep? Maybe where they hid their favorite teddy bear or, a secret stash of cookies? Well, let me tell you, the secret in our story today, it's literally bigger than the whole wide world.
So, let's start with this secret visitor. Our story kicks off in this quiet, peaceful little village called Vraja. And this is where our baby Krishna lived with his family. And one day, knock knock, they get a visitor, a very important and very secret visitor.
And this visitor, well, he was a really wise man, a priest named Garga Muni. And he wasn't just dropping by for tea. Nope, he was on a top-secret mission sent by Krishna's real father, Vasudeva. And it was all about Krishna and his big brother, Balarama.
So why all the hush-hush, right? Well, there was a huge danger. A really bad king named Kamsa was out there searching for a special baby he was terrified of. And he suspected it might be Krishna. So Garga Muni's whole mission, which was to give the boys their official names, it had to be kept completely under wraps. It was the only way to keep them safe.
Now, Krishna's foster dad, Nanda, he knew just what they needed to do. He leaned in and whispered to Garga Muni, telling him, "Please, do the ceremony right here, in our cowshed, someplace quiet where nobody will see." I mean, nobody. Not even their relatives were supposed to know about this.
And so, inside that quiet family cowshed, away from everyone, Garga Muni started the ceremony. It was time for the two brothers to get their new, powerful, and very special names.
Okay, first up, the big brother. He was named Balarama. Now, his name comes from a super cool word in the ancient language of Sanskrit. The word is bala. Can you say that? Give it a try. Bala. It means strength. And yep, you guessed it, Balarama would grow up to be known for his absolutely amazing, incredible strength. And then, of course, our little baby boy. He was named Krishna. You hear that she sound right in the middle. Let's try it together. Krishna. Krishna. Perfect. His name has a couple of meanings. One is all attractive, because, well, he could charm pretty much anyone he ever met. And it also means dark-colored, which described the beautiful color of his skin.
All right, so now they've got their names, and pretty soon Krishna and Balarama are going from crawling to toddling around. And the second Krishna was up on his feet, that's when the famous and oh-so-funny mischief really began.
You see, Krishna absolutely loved butter and yogurt. It was his favorite. But his mom, Yashoda, she was smart. She started hanging the pots way up high so he couldn't get to them. But did that stop Krishna? No way. He came up with a plan. He'd find stools, he'd find grinding stones, anything he could, and stack them up to make a little tower. Then he'd climb all the way to the top, poke a hole in the bottom of the pot, and enjoy his treat. How clever is that?
So the other women in the village, the gopis, they'd come to Krishna's mom and they would complain. But, they'd have these huge smiles on their faces while they did it. They'd say, "Yashoda, your son, he sneaks into our houses, he steals our butter, and he feeds it all to the monkeys. And if the monkeys are too full to eat it, he just breaks the pot." They were pretending to be annoyed, but secretly they just loved his playful little antic.
But then, one day, the fun and games took a really surprising turn. Krishna's friends and even his big brother Balarama came running to his mother, Yashoda. And this time it sounded serious.
Krishna ate dirt. That's what they all yelled. So, of course, Mother Yashoda gets all worried and turns to her little son. But Krishna, he just looks up at her with these big, innocent eyes and says, "No, I didn't eat any dirt, Mom. They're all lying. They're just trying to get me in trouble."
Mother Yashoda looked at all the other kids, and then back at her own son. She had to see for herself. She said, "All right, if you're really telling the truth, then open your mouth."
So Krishna, being a good little boy, he opened his mouth wide.
But his mother didn't see any dirt, not a speck. What she saw was, well, she saw everything. She saw giant mountains and deep, deep oceans. She saw the sun and the moon and all the planets and the stars. She saw wind and fire. She saw the past, the present, and the future, all of time itself. And right in the middle of it all, she saw their whole village of Vraja.
And get this. Inside that tiny little mouth, floating among all the wonders of the universe, Mother Yashoda saw something that just blew her mind. She saw herself, standing right there, looking into her own son's mouth. So what happens next? I mean, can you even imagine that? Seeing the entire universe in a little kid's mouth? It was just too much to process. What does a mom even do after seeing something so impossible, so amazing?
Yashoda was just stunned. She thought, am I dreaming? What is happening? She realized in that moment that her son was more powerful than anything she could ever imagine. But Krishna knew something too. He knew that what his mom wanted more than anything was just to be his mom. So he used his special divine magic. It's called Maya. Can you say that one? Maya. And with that magic, he just gently helped her forget the whole thing.
And just like that, poof, in a single instant, the vision of the universe was gone. Yashoda wasn't staring at the master of everything anymore. She just saw her little boy, her son. She scooped him up onto her lap, and all that cosmic, incredible power, it all just melted away into one simple, perfect thing. A big, warm hug. Her heart was just overflowing with love.
So Krishna could literally hold the entire universe in his mouth, but he knew that the most powerful magic in the world was his mother's love. And it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? If you had a secret, amazing, magical power, who would be the very first person you'd want to show? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me for this story.